statement. JD, I think it's muted.
Can you hear me?
We're good.
Good, okay. Ohio State, terrific team, knew it coming in. There's a reason that they've climbed the ladder sort of as the season has grown the way they have. They have tremendous balance. And by far and away coming into the game, and I knew this was going to be our challenge, was the physicality of the game. And especially here at home, the way that their guys compete in terms of the backboard, the post, how they defend, they can really, really ruffle you and rattle you a little bit with how physical the game is. And early in the game, get down 17-4 or 6. It's hard when you're playing a team this good, but I give our guys credit. We cut it to 5, had a couple tough turnovers there at the end of the half, which put it to 10. I thought we came out of the second half, pretty good first 8 minutes. And then, sort of had that one run there where it got away from us. But Ohio State's terrific. It wasn't anything that we could do today to really stem them from being able to physically overwhelm us. I thought suing was a huge part of the game early, and I thought Liddell, definitely just one of the harder matchups you're going to have. Young, pounding in the paint as well. But, we got worked on the boards, and second chance points was 20. And if you look at the turnovers, 15, we're not going to be able to play with 15 turnovers. But Ohio State deserves all the credit today. They imposed, really physically, just a different way for us to feel in the game. And, they got to make us better from this. We have to learn from it and move on, because Minnesota is the biggest game on the schedule. And our approach to that can't be any different than where we've been. But today was not our day, and Ohio State had everything to do with it.
Dustin?
Archie, guys, to keep going on that, obviously you mentioned the turnovers. I mean, as first blanch, obviously haven't watched the film, but how much of it do you think is just what Ohio State was able to do to pressure you? How much of it was mistakes on your own end?
Without watching the film, I don't really know. But, I mean, when you play against Ohio State, they're going to be physical on the ball. The floor is going to be really crowded on drives. I thought the first step in looking at it, our guards, really inability all game long to draw assists, passes, to be able to not try to score on the herd, so to speak, but be able to share it a little bit on drives, hurt us. And I also thought some of the turnovers that we had, really, had to do with their defense. I thought they did a good job defensively at times being able to create it. But, we didn't have our best game, by far. I think if you look at Al and Armand, their lines and them having 7 turnovers in the game, we need those two guys to play better. But they also played terrific the other day. So, it happens.
Tom?
Archie, this last couple of games, you were able to come back from these double-digit deficits, but these early holes are hard to dig out against a team like this. Do you have to look at what you're trying to accomplish early in games and try to do something different, or no?
It's something that we're mindful of. Our starts have been slow. But if you look at our starts, it really comes down at the end of the day, making a couple layups, making a couple free throws. We get down 17-4, whatever it is, and we have a couple point blank shots that we have to knock in, the easy ones, to be able to stay in there and help the confidence level of our team. But we had definitely have a major starting problem in terms of how we start. We've been down big here recently in terms of our starts. It's been hard. But our offense really to start games is having a hard time of keeping pace. And then against a team like this, you're not going to be able to function 17-4. You're going to be playing from uphill all the time. But our starts are hurting us. I think a lot of it has to do with some easy baskets that we're not converting.
Greg?
Yeah, Archie, you talk about the physicality and all that, and I know you guys are missing Joey. How much of that is that what you're talking about, or how much of that is y'all need, I don't know, to get in the weight room better, or just what happened?
I think maybe it is getting in the weight room a little bit better, but the physicality of the game, Ohio State's guys, the way they play, the way they approach things, they're the most physical team that you'll play all year. And if you're not ready to handle that on both ends of the floor and match it and stay with it throughout the course of a game, that's how they beat you. Yes, they're good on offense, but the physical on offense, Liddell is one of the most physical players you'll play. He's a little undersized in terms of height, but he's so strong. Young is a forceful guy. And then I just really feel like Justice Suing, people don't understand how big and how strong and how underrated he is for what he does for their team. Their 3, 4, and 5 can really hammer you with their post ups, their off the lane game, their offensive rebounding. And, to me, that's where we got a little bit knocked back. Our guards had a hard time with Suing to start the game off the dribble and off the glass. And we didn't finish on their wall ups and we didn't finish around the basket. So the physicality, for our guys, as we look at this, we're going to have to play a lot more forceful on the backboard. Blocking out and rebounding is something we talk at nauseum, and today didn't have it. And I think just from an offensive standpoint, being more physical around the rim, being able to score the ball better. And also when you drive, you got to be strong with the ball. They can't rake it out of there and get it out of there. But just in general, I think, Ohio State is getting a lot of credit right now for their offense, but I just don't think it's 3-point shooting. I think they should get a lot more credit for how tough-minded they are, how physical they are, and, how forceful they are in the way that they play. And, today wasn't our best day. I thought we had 2 runs to be able to hang in the game, and then we lost both momentums with some offensive turnovers.
Final question for Coach Mike.
Yeah, Coach. It seems like a lot of the early struggles might be related to Trace being able to finish in the first 5 or 10 minutes. It seems like he gets a better feel as the game goes along. Is there anything you can do about that?
We're working hard with him. He had a great workout yesterday. He's coachable, and he knows, that he's been a slow starter, but he also picks up momentum as the game goes on. I think as he starts the game, he's a little bit nervous. Maybe he's feeling some things out, but when you miss a couple, obviously it bothers you, but he gets better as the game goes on. But he's got to be a faster starter, no question. He's got to be able to knock a couple in early in the game for us because he's the focus point of the defense, and if we can get him an easy basket, to me, that will help the cause. But he'll come around with it. Like I said, next thing up for us is to head towards getting back home. We play back-to-back road games here in the league. It's tough. We escaped one, didn't the other. Now we have Minnesota, and that's what matters.
All right. Thank you, Coach.